Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell says he is devastated. Rondale was only with the team for a short time, but he made a real impact inside the locker room. Coaches respected him. Teammates cared about him. He was humble, quiet, and proud of where he came from. His journey was never easy. Injuries kept testing him again and again, but he kept fighting. He kept believing in his NFL dream. Now that dream is gone far too soon. The Vikings organization is mourning, and the football world is feeling this loss. Tonight, thoughts and prayers are with his family. The shock of sudden loss has a way of freezing time inside a professional sports organization, and for the Minnesota Vikings, that moment arrived with heartbreaking force as head coach Kevin O'Connell shared his devastation over the passing of Rondale. Even though Rondale's time with the team was brief, the emotional impact he left behind was anything but small, reminding everyone inside the building that the NFL is not just a business of contracts and performances, but a brotherhood built on shared sacrifice, ambition, and humanity. O'Connell's words painted the picture of a young man whose presence extended beyond practice reps or roster evaluations, describing someone humble, soft-spoken, and deeply respectful, qualities that often resonate louder in locker rooms than statistics ever could. Players who fight to reach the NFL carry stories of perseverance, and Rondale's journey reflected that reality with painful clarity, shaped by repeated adversity as injuries interrupted momentum at multiple points in his career, yet never fully extinguished his determination to succeed. That resilience is often what organizations value most in developmental players, because talent can open doors, but character determines how long those doors remain open. And by all accounts, Rondale embodied the kind of internal strength coaches admire when building culture. For Minnesota, this tragedy lands during a period where roster construction, competition, and long-term planning already demand emotional energy, making the loss feel even heavier because it interrupts not just football operations, but the human rhythm of a team striving toward a season. Inside NFL facilities, relationships form quickly due to the intensity of daily interaction, and when someone becomes part of that environment, even briefly, bonds develop through shared workouts, meetings, travel, and conversations about life beyond football. O'Connell's statement suggests Rondale had already become part of that emotional fabric, someone teammates noticed, someone coaches invested time into, someone whose future they believed still held potential despite the obstacles he had faced. The phrase about not getting to watch him flourish carries particular weight because development in the NFL is rarely linear. Players often emerge after setbacks, after doubt, after moments when their careers seem uncertain, and organizations often take pride in helping unlock that second chapter. That possibility is now gone, leaving behind the painful awareness of what might have been, which can affect players psychologically as they reflect on how fragile opportunity truly is in a league built on physical risk. From a football perspective, the loss also resonates because players like Rondale often represent depth with upside, individuals competing for roles that can evolve into meaningful contributions over time. Coaches frequently speak about stacking days, the incremental improvement that eventually translates into game impact, and teammates witnessing that process firsthand often feel connected to the journey. When that journey ends abruptly, it forces perspective across the roster, reminding veterans and rookies alike that careers are not guaranteed, health is not permanent, and relationships matter more than standings. This kind of moment can reshape locker room unity in unexpected ways, sometimes strengthening bonds as players rally around one another, leaning into collective purpose while honoring a teammate's memory through effort and performance. Teams have historically responded to tragedy with emotional seasons that carry symbolic motivation, and while football outcomes are never predictable, the psychological element of playing for something bigger than wins and losses can influence
influence preparation intensity and resilience during adversity. There are also recruiting and organizational culture implications that extend beyond the immediate grief. Prospective players and agents often evaluate franchises not only on facilities or contracts, but on how organizations treat people during difficult moments, and O'Connell's heartfelt response reinforces Minnesota's reputation as a player-centered environment led by empathy. That matters in a league where trust influences decisions about free agency destinations, practice squad commitments, and developmental opportunities. When coaches demonstrate authentic care, it builds credibility, and credibility attracts talent. Fans, too, respond strongly to humanity from leadership, and Vikings supporters are likely to connect emotionally with the coach's vulnerability, deepening the bond between team and community. Football franchises often function as cultural institutions within cities, and moments of mourning can unify fan bases in ways victories sometimes cannot, creating shared remembrance that becomes part of organizational history. Looking ahead, the Vikings' on-field trajectory will continue, as it must in professional sports, but the emotional imprint of this loss may subtly influence team identity throughout the season. Players frequently dedicate performances to fallen teammates, channeling grief into focus, and coaches may incorporate remembrance into team messaging, reinforcing purpose beyond competition. Psychologically, adversity can sharpen awareness of opportunity, potentially increasing urgency in preparation and accountability within the locker room. For younger players especially, witnessing the fragility of a career can accelerate maturity, influencing habits, discipline, and appreciation for each practice rep. Veterans, meanwhile, often step into leadership roles during moments like this, helping guide teammates emotionally while maintaining competitive standards, creating a layered response that blends mourning with professionalism. Ultimately, what resonates most from O'Connell's statement is not football strategy, but human connection. He emphasized Rondale's pride in his roots, his respectful nature, and his perseverance despite repeated setbacks, traits that define character far more than athletic metrics ever could. The tragedy underscores a universal truth inside sports and life alike. Dreams are powerful, but time is never guaranteed, and the relationships built along the journey matter most. As the Vikings move forward, Rondale's memory will likely remain present in quiet ways, in locker room conversations, in moments of reflection before games, in the determination to honor a teammate who never stopped chasing his dream. And for fans watching from afar, the story becomes a reminder that behind every jersey number is a person with hopes, struggles, and a life that reaches far beyond the field, making losses like this resonate far deeper than the scoreboard ever could.